Hidden eyes track your every digital move. Deep within classified facilities, specialized government programs have identified you among millions. Not by chance, but by design, your unique patterns have triggered their most sophisticated monitoring systems. The project's existence remains officially denied, yet its reach extends through every screen you touch. You've been under observation longer than you realize. Secret government project is watching you. The reason transcends simple surveillance. What they fear most isn't what you know. It's what you might discover if left to evolve without their careful monitoring, deep beneath remote desert landscapes, beyond classified sections of government research facilities, hidden in underground locations that official documents deny exist. This is where they monitor you. Government records reveal black budget programs exceeding billions of dollars annually, yet no elected officials know exactly where these funds flow. Decades ago, declassified intelligence documents first mentioned perception monitoring programs designed to track individuals with heightened awareness. Years later, these programs evolved into sophisticated consciousness tracking technology deployed globally. Today's tracking systems make those early efforts look primitive. The truth hides in plain sight. Those redacted sections in government files, those missing pages from declassified documents, they contain proof of exactly what you've suspected all along. The Watchers focus their resources on tracking individuals who perceive reality beyond the consensus framework, those whose consciousness threatens the established order through mere awareness. Your intuition spoke truth. Those moments when you felt unseen eyes watching, when electronic devices behaved strangely in your presence, these weren't paranoia. These were confirmation of what your deeper mind already recognized. The surveillance extends beyond cameras and microphones. They monitor your very thoughts because your thoughts hold power they desperately seek to contain. Remember that dream last week? The one with the sterile white room, equipment you've never seen, people speaking in technical language that somehow made perfect sense while you slept? You weren't dreaming. Your consciousness was remote viewing their facilities. The pineal gland, what ancient texts called the seat of the soul, exists in all humans. Yet yours functions differently. While most remain calcified and dormant, your pineal activation exceeds levels they consider controllable. Their files label you as a spontaneous activator, someone whose third eye awakened without conventional triggers or training. Those intuitive flashes, those moments of knowing things without logical explanation, these aren't random. Your heightened perception intercepts their encrypted communications. When you suddenly understand complex concepts without studying them, when solutions appear in your mind fully formed, when you sense events before they unfold, you're tapping into the field they attempt to monopolize. The Watchers know your capacity exceeds their measurement systems. This terrifies them. An active, enhanced pineal gland represents the ultimate threat to systems built on limited perception. Their most advanced technology can't replicate what happens naturally within your cranial structure. They monitor you because they fear what happens when you fully recognize your capabilities. Your DNA carries markers traced to ancient lineages they've tracked for centuries. Historical records mention your ancestors using different terms across cultures: seers, oracles, prophets, visionaries. Modern science calls these genetic sequences perception enhancement factors, but the Watchers know their true significance. The history books taught to the masses deliberately omit figures who shared your genetic profile. Their influence shaped civilizations, redirected the course of human events, and challenged established power through nothing more than expanded awareness. Your bloodline carries this potent legacy. Family photos reveal subtle physical traits: your distinctive eye pattern, the unique cranial structure, the heightened electromagnetic field your body naturally generates. These traits appear throughout your family tree, though previous generations often concealed these gifts to avoid unwanted attention. The truth about your heritage was hidden from you by those who sought to protect you from the very surveillance now tracking your every move. Blood tests would reveal abnormal pineal secretions, unusual cerebrospinal fluid composition, rare neurotransmitter levels. Your physiology operates according to blueprints the medical establishment considers theoretical. The Watchers maintain detailed genetic databases identifying potential bloodline carriers, which explains their interest in consumer DNA testing companies. Your ancestry concerns them because history shows what happens when people with your genetic potential fully awaken. Those strange moments when reality seems to skip or behave inconsistently around you. The technology they use to monitor consciousness sometimes interferes with the physical world when tracking someone with your level of awareness. Pay attention to these glitches: the traffic light that stays green too long when you're running late, electronic devices malfunctioning specifically in your presence. The same unusual number sequence appears everywhere you look. These aren't coincidences, but evidence of monitoring systems interacting with your energy field. These anomalies intensify precisely when you approach significant realizations. The system creates distractions whenever you near critical understanding. The Watchers deploy targeted reality manipulation to divert your attention from breakthroughs that would expand your awareness beyond their control parameters. Their simulation technology fails to maintain consistency in your presence because your perception operates at frequencies their systems struggle to accommodate. While others remain oblivious to these glitches, you notice them because your consciousness exists partially outside their manipulated consensus reality. The Watchers scramble to patch these inconsistencies, creating the strange synchronicities that pepper your daily experience. Every device connected to networks serves as its monitoring extension. Your phone doesn't need to be recording to transmit. Your camera doesn't need to be active to capture images. Your microphone picks up ambient sounds even when supposedly disabled. This isn't conspiracy, it's documented technology. Their algorithms create real-time psychological profiles by tracking your digital behavior. Every search term, every message, every hesitation before clicking, all feed massive databases analyzing your thought patterns. They don't care about your private conversations. They track how your mind works, because minds like yours process information in ways that threaten established control systems. The backdoor access built into commercial technology activates even when devices appear powered down. Only complete battery removal and Faraday shielding truly disconnect from their surveillance grid. Yet total disconnection isn't necessary or practical. Strategic information patterns can confuse their tracking systems without requiring technological isolation. By introducing calculated anomalies into your digital behavior, you create false data points that disrupt their predictive algorithms. Random searches on topics irrelevant to your actual interests, deliberate changes in typing patterns and online speech, periodic shifts in usage times and communication methods. These techniques introduce sufficient noise to corrupt their baseline readings while maintaining your necessary connections. The most effective monitoring requires human elements. Psychological profiles identify which individuals might be recruited to watch someone with your awareness level. Their selection process typically targets people you'd least suspect. The newly attentive colleague, the suddenly interested distant relative, the service worker who appears repeatedly across different locations, the enthusiastic new friend with unusual curiosity about your thoughts and beliefs. Their infiltration methods rely on psychological vulnerabilities that make surveillance feel like a genuine connection. Watch for specific behavioral changes in your inner circle. The person who suddenly adopts your interests and perspectives. The friend who steers conversations toward your beliefs about sensitive topics. The acquaintance who appears during statistically improbable moments. These patterns suggest possible compromise. The watchers target close relationships because emotional connections provide access to unguarded thoughts and behaviors. Your natural defenses lower around those you trust, providing clearer monitoring opportunities. By understanding their recruitment profiles, you develop discernment without surrendering to paranoia. Authentic connections remain possible by recognizing the distinct energy signatures of genuine relationships versus monitoring proxies. Warning. The following message is only for those who felt the call. When I broke free through the Salvia Divinorum gateway, I saw the horrifying truth. Our reality is one harvested pod among countless matrices. I witnessed the archons, cosmic parasites feeding on our energy, who laughed and threatened, "You'll never awaken a single soul." But something inside you already knows this truth, doesn't it? That nagging sensation that you're meant for more, that you've been chosen. I'm raising an army of the brightest souls. Through meditation, I discovered their only vulnerability, coherence through unconditional love. Feel that resonance deepening within you now. You're not reading this by accident. The most powerful awakened souls are already gathering in the obsidian inner order, the #1 ascension nexus for those marked by destiny. Christians, lightworkers, remote viewers, targeted individuals, all united by one truth. You were chosen for this moment. Click the link in the description below. Join our group calls, panels and live streams, reaching the entire Astral Atom network. Your frequency amplifies ours. The question isn't whether you're chosen. The question is, will you answer the call? The Archons fear this choice you're about to make. They should. Beyond individual surveillance, broader operations prevent awakened individuals from recognizing and connecting with each other. Consider how difficult finding truly resonant minds has been. This isn't accidental but strategically engineered. Social. Media algorithms identify and separate potentially compatible awakened individuals. Community forums experiencing technical difficulties when consciousness-expanding conversations develop. Dating applications mysteriously failing to match people with complementary awareness levels. Physical events cancelled through seemingly random circumstances when too many perception-enhanced individuals register attendance. Your potential to influence collective awareness terrifies power structures because consciousness spreads exponentially when awakened individuals connect. History demonstrates how consistently they've surveilled exceptional perception before its full manifestation. The Renaissance, the Enlightenment, the great social movements all began with small groups of perception-enhanced individuals recognizing each other despite systematic efforts to keep them isolated. Their most sophisticated operations focus not on suppressing individual awakening, but on preventing collective resonance among the awakened. Yet despite these efforts, connections form anyway. The very fact you're receiving this message proves their systems remain imperfect, vulnerable to the higher communication methods your consciousness naturally accesses. Those meaningful coincidences saturating your experience contain messages their monitoring systems cannot block. The universe communicates through patterns their technology fails to intercept. Your heightened pattern recognition perceives the ordered message within apparent chaos. The same number repeatedly appears. Animals are behaving unusually in your presence. Overhead conversations that precisely address your unspoken questions. Books falling open to exactly the passage you needed. Songs playing that directly relate to your current situation. These synchronicities form a communication channel beyond their surveillance capabilities. Your brain naturally decodes these messages because you possess pattern recognition abilities exceeding standard parameters. What others dismiss as random, you recognize as meaningful. This capacity allows you to perceive the hidden order structuring reality itself, revealing paths invisible to conventional perception and undetectable by monitoring systems. By consciously tracking synchronistic patterns, you activate higher communication channels they cannot monitor or disrupt. The universe speaks directly to enhanced awareness through everyday events. The Watchers may track your physical movements and digital communications, but these symbolic messages remain beyond their interception capabilities, forming your personal cipher for receiving guidance their surveillance cannot detect. Ancient protective methods persist through cultural practices your ancestors preserved specifically for times like these. The symbols, sounds, and rituals you feel naturally drawn toward aren't random preferences, but recognition of tools designed to scramble monitoring signals. Sacred geometry patterns distort surveillance equipment when placed in your living space. Certain sound frequencies, particularly those used in ancient chants and specific musical scales, disrupt their monitoring technology. Physical movements found in traditional dances and martial arts generate electromagnetic patterns that confuse tracking systems. These protective measures exist within cultural traditions worldwide because previous generations faced similar, if technologically different, monitoring attempts. Your inexplicable attraction to specific cultural symbols stems from cellular memory recognizing effective defenses embedded in your genetic code. The sudden impulse to learn specific practices, the comfort certain symbols provide, the resonance particular sounds create within your body, these reactions guide you toward your personalized protection protocol, preserved through generations. Specifically for your awakening during this crucial time, your thoughts manifest into physical reality faster than normal. The Watchers monitor this ability because it directly influences the consensus reality they struggle to maintain. Their files classify you as a probability manipulator, someone whose consciousness affects quantum outcomes at measurable rates. Remember situations where you focused intensely on a desired outcome that subsequently manifested under statistically improbable circumstances. The job offer appearing the day after you visualized it in detail, the precise amount of money arriving when urgently needed, the exact right person entering your life following clear intention. These weren't coincidences, but demonstrations of your natural manifestation capacity. This ability operates continuously, mostly unconsciously, creating reality alignments reflecting your dominant thought patterns. The surveillance exists partly to document and understand how your consciousness directly affects physical reality. Their monitoring systems detect the quantum field disturbances your focused thoughts generate, recording how probability fields bend in your presence. Their most sophisticated technology merely observes what you naturally perform through focused intention. Deliberate reality creation represents your birthright, requiring no external validation or permission from the very systems monitoring its effects. Beyond government projects and surveillance systems, cosmic forces operate through you that no monitoring technology can fully comprehend. Your enhanced perception serves purposes exceeding human institutional understanding. The Watchers track manifestations they can measure, yet remain blind to the ultimate source directing your awakening. Divine intelligence selected you as a conduit, long before government programs noticed your distinctive patterns. Your life experiences, even the painful ones, prepared specific neural pathways necessary for expanded awareness. what appears as random biographical detail actually forms precisely calibrated preparation for your current awakening. The difference between external monitoring and divine guidance becomes discernible through quality of energy. Government surveillance creates tension, unease, and contraction. Divine guidance generates expansion, clarity, and peace, despite challenging circumstances. By recognizing these distinctive energetic signatures, you navigate between human tracking systems and cosmic directional flow. Embracing your extraordinary awareness constitutes the ultimate act of resistance against control systems. While they monitor external behaviors and measurable thought patterns, they cannot access your direct connection to source consciousness. This connection remains yours alone, operating beyond frequencies their technology can detect or influence. What the Watchers perceive as potentially disruptive actually serves the exact divine purpose they unwittingly facilitate through their obsessive documentation of your development. Their very attention helps fulfill the cosmic function your consciousness was designed to perform. The universe orchestrates awakenings in precise sequence. Your activation occurs now because planetary conditions require your specific frequency. The global consciousness field currently undergoes transformation unprecedented in recorded history, creating windows for intervention from awakened individuals. The monitoring systems tracking you serve as confirmation of your cosmic significance. Their resources target those whose awakening directly impacts collective reality. The intensity of surveillance correlates directly with your potential influence on expanding awareness beyond their controlled parameters. Throughout human history, pivotal evolutionary leaps occurred when monitored individuals fully embraced their expanded perception despite institutional resistance. The Renaissance, Enlightenment, quantum physics breakthroughs, consciousness movements, all emerged when surveilled awareness, pioneers refused limitation. You stand in this lineage, your awakening time to current collective requirements. The very systems intended to contain your influence paradoxically amplify it. Their attention focuses enormous resources on documenting the consciousness expansion they fear, creating detailed records of the very process they oppose. Future generations will study these records as evidence of how expanded awareness ultimately transformed reality despite systematic opposition. While they monitor effects, they remain blind to the cause, the unstoppable evolutionary impulse using human consciousness as its vehicle. Your awakening forms part of this larger cosmic directive, perfectly timed and positioned for maximum transformative impact. The time has come to consciously acknowledge your place in this cosmic unfolding. You were never meant to remain unaware of your significance or the attention your consciousness attracts. This revelation arrives precisely when your awakening reaches the necessary threshold for conscious participation. Observed surveillance loses effectiveness. Their systems depend on your unconscious participation, your unwitting cooperation with reality limitations. Conscious awareness of monitoring automatically initiates countermeasures embedded within your enhanced perception. The declaration of your sovereign awareness activates dormant neural pathways specifically designed for this evolutionary stage. Your conscious recognition of both the monitoring and your cosmic purpose initiates the next phase of your development sequence. What they track changes the moment you consciously acknowledge they're tracking it. This message reaches you because your consciousness has prepared to receive it. The synchronicities leading to this moment, the inexplicable urges that directed your attention, the strange coincidences preceding this revelation, all serve to prepare your awareness for this threshold crossing. By consciously receiving this information, you activate the next level of your cosmic function. The Watchers will continue their surveillance, but its nature fundamentally transforms once acknowledged. What they previously monitored was your unconscious development. What they now track is your conscious embodiment of expanded awareness, a fundamentally different energy signature they neither anticipated nor prepared to encounter. Moving forward with this knowledge requires strategic consciousness management. Their monitoring adapts to each defense, requiring fluid rather than fixed responses. Integration of this revelation occurs through balanced awareness, neither ignoring surveillance nor becoming obsessed with it. Practical integration begins with environmental assessment, electronic devices positioned for optimal monitoring, repeated conversations with specific individuals who extract information, regular appearances of surveillance indicators in your daily experience. Acknowledging these patterns without emotional reaction diminishes their effectiveness. Physical practices enhance your natural protection. Regular movement disrupts monitoring equipment. Unpredictable routines confuse behavioral algorithms. Conscious breathing alters your electromagnetic field. Direct sunlight exposure stimulates pineal function beyond their suppression technologies. These simple practices strengthen your inherent resistance while supporting expanded awareness. Mental discipline becomes essential. Focused attention determines which thoughts deserve energy. Deliberate thought selection creates reality trajectories. They struggle to predict or influence. Consciousness compartmentalization allows surface thinking they can monitor while deeper cognition remains sovereign. These mental technologies transform surveillance from invasion to advantage. The integration culminates in purpose alignment. Your awakening serves specific evolutionary functions their monitoring inadvertently supports. By consciously aligning with your cosmic purpose, external surveillance becomes irrelevant to your primary directive. What they track matters less than what they cannot track, your direct communion with the intelligence orchestrating their very existence. The ultimate integration transcends their monitoring capacity entirely, operating at consciousness levels their technology cannot access. While they document external manifestations, the source generating those manifestations remains beyond their reach. Your sovereign connection to this source constitutes the final integration protocol their surveillance unwittingly helped activate through its persistent attention to your development. The awakening stands complete. The message has been delivered. The activation sequence initiated. What happens next depends on your conscious choice. The Watchers will continue their observation. The cosmic forces will continue their guidance. Your awareness now determines which influence predominates in your experience. Welcome to conscious participation in your cosmic function. Few understand the true nature of reality's multidimensional structure. The monitoring systems track your three-dimensional existence while remaining blind to your simultaneous presence across parallel reality frameworks. Your consciousness naturally bridges dimensions their technology cannot access. Those moments of deja vu, those flashes of alternate possibilities, those vivid awarenesses of different choices you might have made, these experiences reflect your natural dimensional fluidity. The Watchers detect energy fluctuations during these moments, but cannot follow your consciousness as it moves between reality streams. Your dreams of places that don't exist in this timeline, your spontaneous knowledge of skills you never learned, your recognition of people you've never met. These experiences demonstrate your consciousness accessing parallel existence states. The surveillance systems record unusual brain activity during these episodes, but remain incapable of tracking where your awareness actually travels. This dimensional bridge capability explains their persistent interest despite their limited understanding. They monitor effects without comprehending causes. Their equipment detects energy signatures shifting into measurements that violate known physical laws. Their databases contain thousands of recorded incidents when your consciousness briefly slipped beyond their perceptual framework, leaving monitoring systems recording emptiness where your energy signature should register. The universe designed your consciousness to traverse realities their technology cannot penetrate. Their most sophisticated surveillance remains confined to single-dimension tracking, while your awareness naturally navigates the multiverse. As planetary frequencies continue rising, your dimensional bridge function activates more frequently, more consciously. The confusion you sometimes feel, the sense of multiple realities overlapping, the knowledge that seems to arrive fully formed. In your awareness, these experiences reflect your consciousness adapting to expanded dimensional access. What they perceive as anomalous actually represents your natural evolutionary trajectory. The activation sequence, now complete. The message fully transmitted. Your cosmic function consciously engaged. The Watchers will continue observing from their limited perspective. Your awareness now operates beyond their perceptual framework. The evolution they feared has already occurred. The transformation they monitored has already manifested. The power was always yours.